Last time on Lawful Stupid.
Okay. So... Fuck, it's been so long. Okay, here's what happened last time on Lawful Stupid. Last time on Lawful Stupid, first we had a disagreement, but then we got over it, and then we met up with just
We became best friends!
And then... And then we met up with Justicar Spawn, Madman Spawn, and his new friend, who was a fire... Genasi.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about that. It was
he's a fire
Henry
gymnast.
And your Genasi friend.
No, Henry... Okay, yes, you're right. Henry and our fire Genasi friend who led us into the encampment.
Hey, Ginge, can we, like, every time he just says it wrong,
with
can
Frost.
we edit that out? Can we do that?
What am I
Can
saying
we just
wrong?
call them fire gymnasts?
Fire gymnasts.
Yeah, fire gymnasts.
Fire Genasi? I say
mean, you'd be
Genasi,
wrong.
and everyone says that's wrong.
Janasi.
Genasi.
Fire Genasi.
Genie.
Per D&D Beyond. We had when we introduced it,
G-
we had it. No, J as in like
Genasi.
Jinju Baller, it's Genasi.
Okay, well that's not what the G sound makes. That's a J sound, but fine. I'll spell it wrong. Whatever. I guess they're fucking GIFs too. Fire GIF Nassies. So we went to the fire
Genasi.
and the fire
Genasi.
was an ink binder is what I call them. They have different names, but I don't care. Because I'm Christoph Shindo, and I call fucking Mortalisi Death Knights, and then they get all fucking butthurt about it. Whatever. Start a war. It's fine.
Yeah,
Open the
he's
doors of
still mad at
darkness.
us. He still hates us.
It's fine.
Canonically, like, those fucking guys.
Guild and the Course, too hard to remember. I can remember it now, but I couldn't then. So then they lead us into an encampment where we find just Takar's Spawn, because that's where he was in the encampment, which is on the border of Silence and a different country in Whisperwool. I don't know the name of it. I didn't make the map. Devin?
I didn't make that map either.
Awesome.
Tiffany.
So the border of Tiffany and Silence on the continent of Whisperwool, where they're mounting an attack. And Christoph said, "Don't even worry about it, homie. I got you. I'll write a letter. It's gonna be fine." It's not gonna be fine.
Yeah, that sums it up. And in fact,
Yeah, I think that's like, what, 50%,
it's
right?
pretty damn close. So
Sweet.
the last bit was you guys kind of like storming out of the tent, essentially. Maybe storming's a strong word, but like marching out to like, I'm gonna go fucking talk to Silence and solve all this problems, because nobody's tried to do that yet.
The diplomatic approach. No one's thought of it yet.
Exactly.
We never do.
Yeah, so that's what we're
Diplomacy?
gonna pick up. Is Atlas had just talked to Henry, and you guys are marching out of that tent.
So I said I was going to send some letters and stuff, but I do want to catch up with Findahl real quick.
Yeah, well, so Findahl's still in that tent, but I think in theory,
It would be super awkward to go back.
well, I was gonna give it to you that you weren't just like sprinting out of the tent and maybe like you're lingering, and then within like
Yeah, yeah,
you know an hour or so, he would like make his way out of that tent. Like,
Awesome.
you can storm right back in, or we can let things breathe.
Nah, that would be
Yeah,
super
exactly.
awkward. I don't
Oh,
want to.
Brian, I'm gonna go save this. Oh, one moment, please. Findahl, just if I could. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you. So yeah, you guys are checking out the situation, the forward operating base for Spawn's army, and I think you just see Findahl kind of like walking around pretty aimlessly, and like link up with him. I mean, aimless seems like a sad word. More like Findahl's got nothing to do, right? That like simpleton kind of walk, you know, like, this is a pretty fucking day. Like, we're not about to go to war, no big deal.
Yeah, I work with people
Christoph's
like that.
gonna see that and be kind of like a little downtrodden as he approaches. He's like, Findahl.
Oh, hey, Christoph. How are you doing?
I guess I'm doing alright. It's been a while since we've seen each other. I was kind of hoping that perhaps with that second half of the medallion you've been able to take great strides towards your sanity, but it appears as though that might not be the case.
It was very kind of you, and I adore it. It's very nice of you to give me my artifact back. I will treasure it always, but No, I don't believe that's going to do the trick, my boy. But I'm sorry you seem somber. You know what I do when I'm down?
Does it sing a song?
Oh, no, I find teeth. Check them out, inspect them.
Maybe... And I'm going to take the other half of the medallion off around my neck, and I'm going to link it together with Findahl's.
Oh, yeah, so when you do that, I think when you
married.
We're married legally.
I think when you do that, I think you do it in like the friendship kind of bracelet kind of way you do, you know? And it kind of like magnetizes. So it like seals, and you kind of like let it rest, and kind of hangs around his chest, and he kind of blinks a little bit and says, that's not a fun feeling. Hey.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, a lot. But that's okay.
Oh. Do you want me to stop?
No, I don't want to be Findahl again.
Loved.
Because you can keep this if it makes you better.
I fear that it's like anything else. It's temporary. The only thing that seems to work reliably is the Maw of Andrin. But unfortunately, that's not permanent either.
I didn't know if this being another artifact of Andrin, if it would maybe...
From what I can tell, it's more the artifact keeps it at bay. I have outlived my lifespan anyways. So every day's just a surprise, really.
Just gravy on top, huh? Well, I've got you here in Rational. Can you take a look at Atlas? I disposed of that being within his cursed object, and I don't... You have more expertise than I do. I didn't know if you could see if the effects had gone too far, if they were reversible. He's been having a trying time.
Yeah, of course. Where is he? So, Atlas, what do you think you would be doing in the camp while Kristoff wanders off looking for Findahl?
I'm probably just walking around, just seeing who is all there. I imagine there's a lot of different people from different cities and towns who've come to fight, and so I'm just checking out their weapons and their armor, and probably as I see things that I'm interested in, I run over and ask about it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a mix of Oxbane, it's a mix of Yuri people, and I mean, there's people you've never seen before, and you see Bastonia colors as well. But there's something from everywhere, kind of, but you can tell it's more like everybody kind of sent a scouting party or just a piece or something to offer. Like, people aren't ready for a full-scale war, but I mean, without talking too much about it, there's a little bit of everybody.
It's like a coalition force.
I know. Would the Red Suns have a spot?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Do I see John? I want to see if John's there. That's interesting. I want to see if John is with these people.
No, John's not there, but you would find a Red Sun tent for sure.
Yes, I would like to visit the Red Sun tent, please. I'd like to walk over there, and upon seeing it being very I'm checking out everyone.
Okay.
And then I see the Red Sun.
Yeah, so we're going to do a doodle-doo, and Shane, we'll just have yours wrap up his scene. And then Rowan, be thinking about your time as they're doing their bag. So yeah, you approach the Red Sun tent, and it's just a tent like everybody else's. This circular top and 4 big pieces of wood, but they've got their colors, right? Displayed everywhere, and fucking people are in there, and they've got maps, and it seems like despite them not being the command tent, they have something of their own going on.
So I'll I guess open a flap, kind of peek in, and see if I'm interrupting anything.
Yeah. So you're interrupting like 3 people that are like talking, and when you do that, you still have your tattered red cloak, correct? Like that's still something
Yes.
you shout. Okay.
Yep.
So when you do that, like a big like minotaur guy that turns back to you, and there's 2 other smaller figures, and you know one to be a human and another one to be a half elf. And the big minotaur looks at you, and he says,
"How can I help you?"
Well, I'm a member of the Red Sun, and I saw this tent, and I was hoping maybe I would. And as I'm looking around, see John, but it appears he is not here, and I'm interrupting something.
You're a member? Come in.
And I'll go inside.
yeah. So this big minotaur guy, he's got like brown fur. Yeah, they have fur, confirmed. That's what you would call that, and like a bigger like a bigger brown mane. And his horns are like scarred and scratched, but like they're intact, and you can tell they're strong. They're just like used. And so he kind of looks at
Lived in.
Lived in.
It's the rustic. Yeah.
Rustic.
So he looks at you and says,
It didn't do much to keep that cape of yours intact, did you?
You could say it's used, and for good.
Lived
Mostly.
in. Rustic.
It's also lived in and rusted.
Rustic is what I was going to say.
and he reaches out like this big hand, and like you're an orc, so you're bigger, but he's like just as big as you, if not like bigger, right? Like it's not normal for you to be like kind of engulfed in somebody when you shake somebody's hand, because I assume you shake his hand.
Yes, we'll do the forearm shake.
Yeah, the forearm
yes.
shake, like you're not holding the weapon kind of deal. And he says,
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Atlas.
Nice to meet you, Atlas. The name's Bruce.
Bruce? I feel like I've heard of you from somewhere. I can't recall just this moment, but nice to meet you, Bruce.
It's nice to meet you too, Atlas. What brings you to the front? I thought we had already accounted for the members of our group here.
A close friend of mine summoned myself and 2 other of my close friends. We had, when all of these battles started, we fought together early on. Went our separate ways and have found our way back.
Oh. So vacation, not a work trip.
I don't think you would call it a vacation of sorts.
Yes, well, anyways, it's good to have you. You're welcome to eat with us tonight. If you're still around.
Yeah, and what do you guys plan? I mean, who are your compatriots here?
oh, and he looks,
Oh, how rude of me. How rude of me.
and so he motions to this female human, and he says,
This is Elvin.
and he points to the half elf, and he says,
This is Alari.
Alari
Yes,
and
Alari.
Elvin.
Yes.
Nice to meet both of you.
and they both nod, and you hear like similar like yeah, nice to meet you. And they say, or Bruce says,
Listen, Atlas, if you're going to be around, if you're going to stay here, then you're welcome to join us. Unfortunately, there's most likely going to be a battle.
I was just going to ask, when do we attack? What are your plans?
Well, there aren't plans for attack currently, but we have to make way to the Ridge Scar Peaks, and currently they're held, and we don't want to go to war with them. We just want to pass through, and we haven't managed to negotiate passage, if you will.
And who is stopping us from going across?
It's the Ridge Scar Peaks in this area are owned by the Ridge Scar Legion. And, well, you know, I suppose you're not from around here, but they're led by Farron Stonebreaker and his wife Batul.
I have not heard of him.
Well, now you have.
All right. So, what is the tool for negotiating? What do they want? Well, or they just not want us to go by at all?
Well, they stake claim to the Ridge Scar Peaks. They say it's their home. They say that they've bled on it, and they will decide who passes back and forth. And it's honestly probably for the best for Holbeck. Most likely, it's the reason silence hasn't spread its grasp so far. But we think we can persuade them.
Well, I feel like, that's fair of them to want that, but what's the contingency, supposing they do not let us go through?
Well, if they don't let us go through, we'll just say I hope they let us go through. I would hate to have to fight our way through, should we have to fight silence, but the stakes aren't exactly low, and if they won't join us, then they're basically on the side of evil. Oh, that's how
But
I'll
isn't the whole
rationalize it.
thing, aren't we supposed to be, in a sense, winning over the hearts and minds of the people with silence? They don't realize they're being held by a tyrant?
You seem to know a lot about silence. When's the last time you were there, Atlas?
Actually, many, 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 many years ago. It's a long story.
Castle Capel.
I feel like I have time. Sit down now.
If you'll open up your whatever you used to listen to podcast and go to episode
don't want
20.
it.
Okay. No, a friend of mine, he's from these parts.
Oh, it's excellent. He could be a valuable resource in navigating our way there.
I'm pretty sure he's talking to somebody. But you know what, Bruce? I'm gonna get out of here. Get out of your hair, and I may come back for dinner tonight if that's okay. I might hold you to that.
Oh, you're welcome of always.
And at that point, I'm going to shake the other two's hands as well in a similar fashion because I don't want to be rude.
Yep.
And then Bruce for last.
Yep.
And leave the tent, intending to go back to wherever Findahl and those guys
Right.
might be.
So as you leave, you hear Bruce say,
By Senlor's path, I hope he grants you safety, Atlas.
And I'll just go,
What's this fucking guy's problem?
all right, cool. So yeah, you bounce out of that tent, and you roll up on your boy Findahl and Kristoff, and yeah, how you want to roll that, Kristoff?
I'll kick it off because it's like I'm seeking out Kristoff to say, Kristoff, are you aware there's some people, I guess, that live in the peaks or something here, and the intent is to go and attack these people to get through if they don't allow us to pass?
Yes, it is my intent to avoid that. Of course, I don't want anything to befall any of these people, so we will take our most diplomatic approach as possible in resolving that. So I'll write some letters. I know, Dwayne.
You know Farron?
I know Farron of the
of the Ridge Scar Legion.
Of the Ridge Scar Legion, I know Farron of the Ridge Scar Legion, and I will entreat to him to grant us passage, so that I may diplomatically speak with the people of silence.
Well, maybe even we should go in person and talk to him. I mean, if you know him, and obviously you have a claim to power here, he might be willing more to listen to you than anyone else.
I want it to be very clear, I'm not coming here to reclaim anything. I do not want to march as an invader with a foreign army trying to make a stake at the crown. No, that is the wrong message indeed. We don't want to send that. But I'll write a letter ahead of time to explain what's going on. I'll find someone to magically send the message ahead of us, and then we should go in person. But I don't want to arrive unannounced.
Kristoff, I trust you.
And so, as you're like talking, Findahl's kind of like doing that. He's like stroking his beard and like kind of pacing around you.
I'm walking with him because I've still got the thing around my neck. They're joined together. No. So like I'm walking with them and talking the whole time. No, I'll write a letter. It'll be not a big deal. And ooh, I like your cape. I haven't examined it. Had some damage.
And you hear Findahl say, Atlas, how are you feeling?
Well, do you mean physically, emotionally?
I'm as a murderer,
turmoiled about some things, that have come to light recently. But
I think I just mean, how do you feel overall? Do you feel like you're all there?
To be honest, no, I don't. But I don't know what the answer is. I'll have to make it go back and change it.
Interesting. And how is Alaria doing?
Well, as you may know, Kristoff got rid of her.
And when that happens, you see Findahl go, did he now?
I want to do this, though. As I say that, I want to... Am I looking at Kristoff? And well, I guess if they're chained together, I want to be facing them.
Yeah.
I want to look at Kristoff, eyes open wide, and say that to him, as if saying, not true.
You trying to give him a signal?
You're trying to signal me that it's not?
Yes, signaling.
Okay. I reach behind my hand, and I cast message to Findahl. And it's not true. And I'm going to use the subtle spell Matematic Feat, so that should not be able to be perceived. Well, actually, she can make a check to perceive it. I don't know how Alaria perceives things, but she can make a check to perceive it, and she'll have disadvantage.
Atlas, go ahead and make a check to perceive it. Normally, she would be observing, but since she's trying to be on the lows, it's...
Oh, I see.
Gotcha. She doesn't have her own like set of stuff, so she's limited to his perceptions.
Okay.
Would it be his passive perception?
Yeah, because he's not like hunting for you to do that. So
passive is 13, but I rolled a 6.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So I mean, he doesn't see you do that. And so, what do you message to him? Say it so everybody can hear.
I'll say. I believe that I failed to dispel the magic that binds Alaria to the sword. If you have an opportunity, undo what is hurting my friend.
And so he gets to respond, and he says, are you sure you want me to do that? I can take care of the problem.
This is actually a different spell, but I love it.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of sending.
So he can respond to this message, but it's just it's a cantrip, so it really should be isolated.
Well, and frankly,
6 seconds.
he has fucking message.
I'll just nod,
and so I think you guys have a conversation back and forth, and he says, "Are you sure you want me to do this? Like, there isn't bringing back. There's no undoing what I'm about to do."
I nod. Sorry, fans. I nod.
And Findahl he looks at you, Kristoff, and kind of motions and takes your half of the necklace off so he can freely move.
Yeah, fair.
And so he steps forward to Atlas and puts a hand on his shoulder and says, Atlas, I want to tell you something.
Oh, are you going to get in my teeth again? It has been
not right now. And I'm going to apologize again for that, because I'm sure it's going to happen again. But what I'm about to do, I do for your good.
Sleep!
Alex casts sleep, and Rowan casts sleep on the entire engagement.
I was expecting him to just like out of nowhere just fucking out.
Yes, and you're unconscious.
Mid conversation, and he's out.
And he tightens his grip, and you feel him tighten his grip. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh, he is casting sleep.
6 minus 1, that's a 5.
Okay, cool.
You're asleep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you're gonna take a little
Hey,
nap?
so you're gonna take 57 arcane damage.
Oh my god.
And Kristoff, what you see, because you inherently can see some of the arcane torrent, is you see a very normal pair of people, and for the briefest of seconds, you see a flash, and you watch as the sword, goes from this blank object, which has never been blank before. It was blank.
Right.
And you see it flash to these hues of blue and pink and white and black and pink, and you watch, this spectral form of Alaria in white and pink and blue, and you see, she's being pulled away from this, black inky form. But, you watch as, Findahl can't separate them. And you watch as they're both torn away, piece by piece, from this blade. And
I'm going.
Go ahead.
If I may, I'm going to look at Alari and just because I imagine this is happening and it's in front of me and it's pretty graphic and horrible, and I'm just going to say, I won't apologize, but I did it for him.
And you watch as Alaria and this spirit are stripped from the blade and stripped from Atlas. And Atlas, my dude, you feel like you have just marched miles and miles and miles, and you have this level of weight across your shoulders, but at the same time, you feel better. You feel like you're not marching towards the end. This weight of depression, it's lifted. Whether you still feel depressed or not, the magical ink, this pit in your stomach that has always been empty since possessing this sword, it's gone. And boys, the sword on his back is now rusty, slowly and chipping. It doesn't break apart, but all the magic holding it together falls away. And Kristoff,
I imagine I fell down on the ground from all the 47 damage taken. What's the weather like today?
It's I don't know, mid-70s.
It's a balmy in Whisperwall, the Frozen Land. I guess Silence is the one.
Yeah, Silence. So it's canonical that Silence is the only snowy, cold place on Whisperwall. It's unnatural.
I forget that we're not in Silence.
Yeah, you're not there yet. So it's a mid-70s. It's cooler because you're close to the coast.
Ooh.
All things considered, and it's a little overcast.
I'm gonna be laying on my back, looking up, and go, I don't know what you did, Findahl, but I needed it.
And Kristoff, you kind of watch. You see the last bits and pieces and strands of Alaria fade into the ether, into the torrent. You're good, Atlas. You can do what you're going to do. Sorry, I just wanted to finish out that picture.
So I imagine when I say that, they might have something to say, like, what did you do to me?
So, Findahl says, Kristoff?
You know what happened, Atlas. Think about it.
I'm going to pick myself up slowly off the ground. I imagine I'm still in a little bit of pain.
I give him a hand, but I am not helping.
Oh, yeah, dude, you are super... Imagine, like, when you woke up on the beach.
Oh.
And it was just, like, just racked with pain and guilt and regret. Like, you don't have those emotions, but you have that exhaustion.
I want to grab Kristoff by both of his shoulders, lift him up, look as I'm going to be angry, big toothy grin, and just orc hug him. And say, after you told me, after I was able, you thought you had to get rid of her, I knew then there was something. It wasn't her. Maybe in the beginning, there was the essence of Alaria and who she was. As time went on, it just became apparent after I realized that, I was awoken to it. There was just evil in that sort. It had been infecting me.
Atlas, I'm really sorry, but I was wrong. Alaria wasn't the one doing this to you.
What?
I didn't know. I'd only ever seen Alaria, but in that moment, when they were cast out of the sword, I saw it. There was something else there.
What did you see?
It was dark. It was inky black. It didn't belong in the torrent, and it didn't belong in our world. I don't know what it was, but it was separate from Alaria. It wasn't her.
And so when you say that, Findahl looks at you and says, so you saw that too, then?
Yes, do you know what that was, Findahl?
It's been a long time, but I saw things like that during the wars, and gods tend to play games, and it's something of Ryle's or something of Etus's or one of their spawn. It was, Atlas, what have you been up to?
A lot of things I wish I hadn't, I suppose.
Findahl with the real questions.
Fighting. We went on a trek to fight all of those demons we could, destroy all the doors we could. At some point, we were searching for the one who'd put Alaria in the sword. I mean, in this it was the result of that. He still runs free. So I'm guessing there's something to do with him.
And Findahl looks at you and says, no, this is... What that was not something someone from Goron did. That was otherworldly. That was... And he kind of rolls his eyes as he says it. Godly. But... That didn't come uninvited. It sounds... this is going to sound crazy, but it sounds like something I saw a long time ago, but I was sure that town was wiped off the face of Goron during the wars, and they had these fruits you could eat, and if you did it well, it was magnificent, and you could be granted the greatest gifts, but if you just, like, ate it, or had, like, this distaste for gods, or no respect for what you were doing, well, the gods would mess with you, or kill you outright, or curse you, but, again, what was it, Conlan's? It's been so long, I can't remember.
We did that. I did that thing.
We did those things.
That is exactly what I did.
We all did, actually. Literally all of us.
I'm sorry. How?
When?
No.
When?
How?
When? His fault.
Wind made us go back in time to probably when that town wasn't destroyed, and then a young noble tiefling, she was very nice to us, and she gave us those fruit and said, hey, these are fruit of the god, and then Atlas ate them and said, oh, don't eat those, they're full of god magic, so I just didn't eat mine. I was going to be a super good guy, until this one time I was falling through the torrent, and all of my flesh was burning and inside of my soul, and so I carved an arcane glyph into it that I'd seen in the arcane foci that were on the pirate ships, and then I ate it. Am I going to die?
Is he gonna die?
he goes, I should have known.
Am I gonna die? Am I, Findahl?
Well, that's not up to me. Question, after you ate the fruit, what god did you see?
I saw my grandpa. My grandpa, Endrin.
Questions for that later, but...
I told you last time when I brought the medallion back. That's how I got the medallion.
Yeah, right, but you have to understand, when I experience things through crazy Findahl, I'm not 100% sure what's real and what is his perception, but...
That part was real. I really met my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, gave me a necklace. You have half of it now.
Yes, but that makes sense where the heart of Andrew came from. Andrew himself. I think you're going to be okay. Andron's not known to be evil, but he's...
Is there even... What's the opposite? What's the word, like patricide is when you kill your father? What's the word when you kill your grandson?
Fucked up?
Patricide once removed.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that, probably. But he probably wouldn't do that.
Okay, so when took you back and you ate the fruit and you saw...
I'm assuming it was a dark, shadowy figure. I'm assuming Ryle.
Okay, yeah. Well,
okay.
If it didn't have a form, it was...
I'm putting two and two together. And remember that time where we also went back in time and we met that magician?
Mm-hmm.
Like the street magician? Like we met him, and it was like, we fought this big blackness that was like taking him over, and then there was a different time where there was another blackness that looked a lot like that actually, and it was like a giant wolf.
Uh-huh.
What was that about, Atlas?
Boys, when I went...
I mean, not boys, Rowan's not there still.
Findahl is.
Rowan has been here the whole time.
Rowan's just like sucking it all in.
Rowan has been at my side since we left it. Nope, he has not. He was shaking his head. No, okay, never mind.
Oh, I was so angry at the death of Yogg and the attack on Oxbane that I was determined that I would, in a moment of anger, I was going to do whatever I could to destroy those doors. And during that time, Edis came to me and I made a deal with him that he would give me the werewolf that you've seen, give me the abilities that I have to help me to do that.
Can you still do that, by the way? Because I saw a blackness leave you.
As far as I know, I still can. I can feel it inside of me that it's a part of who I am. But I feel like,
well, that's
whatever you just helped me get rid of gives me a little more control.
Well, that's good.
And Findahl says,
"Not
you made a deal with Eatus. The god that's name sounds like Eat Us."
That is correct.
I'm so sorry, Kristoff.
I mean, desperate times. I get it. It's fine. Also, Rowan ate one, but afterwards he just like never got sick again. He just seemed really healthy. I assumed it was vitamin C.
And Findahl says, I think you might not have the whole story then.
All right. So anyway, I am tragically upset that this happened. I murdered Ilaria.
You know,
like she was fine. She was super innocent and that other thing.
Maybe I don't know. There are times where I feel like maybe she wanted out just as much, and I don't think she would have wanted to live like that. I mean, the whole goal was to get her out of the sword.
I mean, I saw every fiber of her being clawing to remain in reality as she was torn apart and dispersed into the torrent. But you know what? I'll probably tell myself that thing you said so I can sleep tonight. That's fine. I'll probably also drink a lot.
I will join you.
Sounds pretty good. Rowan will probably also want in on that. But we do have to have a group meeting. Fun fact, group meeting. So we probably do need to find Rowan. Hey, Findahl? Thank you for doing that thing.
And Findahl looks at you and like dead center, as serious you've ever seen. Findahl says, Kristoff, I'm not sure you understand just how hard that was for me.
Oh, I'm even more grateful now and sorry. What? Can you explain?
I knew her mother.
Oh, fuck, Findahl. Why didn't you tell me that?
Kristoff, I trust you. You said that was bad. I had seen the corruption myself. You had traveled with it. I trusted what you wanted was for the best.
I didn't know it was I didn't know there were two things. I thought that was just the one. But you know what, Findahl? Hey, I'll tell you what. She was already dead.
And when you say that, he breaks the heart in half and hands you the other one. And you hear, "Oh, great, my turn, Atlas!" And hands towards teeth.
When we are in pain we cannot bear, and we have nowhere to retreat, we have several doors we can retreat behind to hide ourselves from the pain. The first is sleep, but that not being available to Findahl, he has retreated behind the door of madness.
And diligent.
Rowan, what have you been doing this whole time? Oh boy, I sure did murder our beloved NPC Ilaria.
Oh, the only thing I would have been doing is I would have just disguised self as rando person, just been walking around, not doing anything specific.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, just wandering around, listening to stuff, generally being nosy. And that's just it.
You do that. You hear lots of juicy gossip about people you've never heard of.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll give you that. You're 100%.
You message him that later.
That's it.
Okay, you do that. All right, boys. That's gonna do it for this episode. We're gonna stop at Kristoff murders Ilaria.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I don't.
I got
There's another door you can hide behind. It's called drinking.
I don't think that's...
Literally every insight check from now on is did I hear something about that at the campfire?
You did.
Charlene?
Oh,
I know a thing or two about Charlene.
Do you know a Joseph?
Oh, yeah, you do.
So, check this girl. Girl, look at me. Girl. So, Joseph thinks you got a fat old earlobes. He loves it.
So,
Anyway.
those of you listening at home, sorry I murdered Ilaria twice. Sorry you had to go through that 2 times.
The first one's to prep you.
Yeah, the first one was just oh, we thought we lost her, but we've made our peace with it. Because the second time, no, she gone though.
And we can address it later. There's a lot of things that we talked about off podcasts that go into this. And so if you want a further explanation, you can email us at theboys@lawfulstupid.org.
Yeah, please send me all your lore questions, because I'm going to respond with, she's dead. D-E-D, dead.
Or you can hit us up on Twitter and do
same thing. It's going to be she's dead, and then it's going to be a GIF.
Well, no, because I'm the Twitter boy. If you hit us up on Instagram, the response will be she dead, D-E-D dead. If you hit us up on Twitter, the response will be I don't know, ask Dwayne. And you'll ask Dwayne, and he'll be she dead.
She dead.
If you hit us up on Patreon for $1, I will give you all the deets.
Yeah, and then I'll go and edit them to she's dead. She murdered her.
Smart.
She's dead. My beloved NPC, my favoriteest girl, now dead.
Hey, and I think that now
is a great
of all
time
times
roll for
is
humanity.
time for you to go to our website, lawfulstupid.org, where you can find our merchandise we have for sale, including the Ilaria t-shirt by art by the amazing Avon Art. You can check that out, and you can get it in memoriam. And any t-shirt you buy, the proceeds will go to us, and then also a small percentage, very, very small percentage, will go to her memorial service.
Or funeral,
very small percentage will go to.
Yeah, like a penny.
Yeah.
For every time you sell one, I'll take 1 penny, and I'll use those pennies to get like a bunch of popsicles, and I'll use popsicle sticks to build a little coffin.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
I'll put this letter opener sword.
Googly eyes on it.
I'll take this letter opener sword that I have, and I'll put it in there, and that'll be Ilaria's funeral, and I'll live stream it.
So, anyways, let's roll for humanity because we actually missed a roll for humanity.
We're actually not gonna roll for humanity, Dwayne.
Awkward.
That is so 2018, and now it's 2019. And in 2019, we're going to do our first ever roll for animality, because that's right, because the charity for this month is Pause. Not like Pause, this audio track that you're listening to, because then you wouldn't hear what happens next, but Pause, like little itty-bitty aminal paws. They help aminals in need. And sometimes those aminals don't even have paws. Sometimes they have like claws and stuff.
Or they don't have paws
claws.
because of other sad reasons.
Or other sad reasons. Thank you.
Gosh,
Thank you for the image, Alex. So I'll go ahead
Because
and
Christoph destroyed them.
yeah, I'll roll it. Because I'm the source of all evil. I'll go ahead and roll 2 d20s for the last episode as well. That is an 18 and an 11, so that is $29. $29 going to Pause. If you want to help, check the link in the description where you can see a link to where you can help Pause today.
Yeah, I need to look in that. Many people might not know this, but every single one of my pets adopted special needs pets.
My pet is also adopted, but not special. Well, she might be special needs. I don't know.
She might be special needs.
She's lovely.
Sorry, Gadget.
Hey, we also have a couple new ratings and reviews. Do we want to read those?
Yeah, Devin wants to.
So I'll get to the second one in a moment that you sent me earlier. First is, it just keeps getting better. I love season 1. There was so much characterization and the world kept growing. I fell in love with the boys even when they fought each other. I didn't think it could get better, but even the opening episode of season 2, in all caps, blew me away. I'm excited to see where things go from here. Hashtag Alara is my favorite character. Okay,
Alara is my favorite character. I hope nothing happens to her.
Yeah, I hope nothing bad happens to her in the opening credits of the season 2.
There's that one, and then
The
for the second one
is glowing. This is probably our best praise we've ever gotten.
let me find it here in my notes.
It is high praise.
Says fantastic.
So
New to the whole D&D
I got
thing,
it because
and I
it's in
love
our
it.
text chat. It's from No, I will not make a nickname. Well done, fantastic. New to the whole D&D thing, and I love it.
So, thank you for that review. Absolutely, all the reviews you give us help, especially when they have 5 stars attached to it, like that one did. You don't have to put a lot, but I mean, you could seriously put like 5 stars and be like, pretty good. And you can even spell it pretty.
Pretty
You
good.
could be like, you put PRREEGUD. Pretty good.
You could even just put-
I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
You could even just put
Solid
K.
criticism.
K.
K. 5 stars.
Yeah,
K.
K.
Because
5 stars, K.
that's my reaction to this podcast. It's like 5 stars,
K.
K.
Yeah, no, that's
I
good.
guess.
Anyways, I think that's what we're calling. We're gonna we'll walk on out of here.
Yeah, you all great.